Comedian Donnell Rawlings is here with us. Good morning, sir.
Something's got a hold on me lately.
Yeah.
And I don't know myself anymore.
Like it.
Feels like the walls are all closing in and the devil's knocking at my door. Whoa, out of my mind. How many times did I tell you I'm no good at being alone? It's taking its toll on me, trying my best to keep from ripping the skin off my bone.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the part. Everybody can come in if you know.
All right.
Don't you know?
Pat, you're the singer.
I don't know the song, but I like
You
it.
don't know that song?
But I like it.
I was told he's a comedian. That's what I was told. Not an amazing vocalist.
There's not a lot of work out here, so I got to mix it up, man. I got to
All right.
multitask. Control. Oh, you never heard that Teddy Swims?
No, I love Teddy
God.
Swims, though.
Teddy Swims. That's
He's
his
on
big,
fire right now.
That's his big breakout song of like 2 years ago.
I like the Show Me the Door song.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Somebody's going through relationship issues.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He's been hurt, huh?
You know what's so good about that? Because the name of his album is I Tried Everything But Therapy, right? And I think a lot of things in the album was running parallel to my life. And then you hear Lose Control, you feel sorry for him, and then you can tell he got his mojo back. And that's why I like the song you said, The Door, because now it's like, all right, now beat it.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love that.
That's how you deal with it. You get over it and you keep moving.
I could have.
I could have
joined you on that song. Unfortunately, I don't know the breakout.
I'm very impressed that you knew that.
I have little girls. They listen to a lot of
The
pop
hip-hop,
music,
yeah.
and I
So
got.
if you didn't know that one, you're probably not going to know this one. Help
What
me
is
with
it?
this one. All right. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
I don't think they're
They
like
not
us, Tom.
That's a hit.
You know, okay, here's how it starts. It starts, psst, I see dead people. Nobody got that.
Oh, we were just talking about that.
Mustard on the beat, ho. Nobody
Mustard
knows
on
that?
the beat?
Yeah, mustard is on the beat. Not mustard, that condiment.
Right, mustard.
Mustard is like a producer is really popular. Nobody knows
okay.
the word to this?
No, I'm not
See,
familiar.
So
It-
it's safe to say everybody thought that was the worst halftime performance in like the last 30 years.
I think Tom agrees with you on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Not meant for me.
Mustard! Not even that part?
No, I don't know it.
I haven't heard it.
Oh, my God.
You're doing great, though.
But then mustard is not just mustard. Mustard's on the beat. Ho.
You make me want to hear it.
Yes.
you should. It's a good
Yes.
song. It's-
Is it Mr. Muster?
No, it's not
mustard.
Mister. It's just mustard.
Kind of like L.A. They would call L.A.
Yeah, and you don't have to be fancy like mustard or mustard. If you want to remember it, just remember like ketchup and mustard. That's
Yeah,
probably
it's not
the easiest
fancy. It's
way.
not Grey Poupon. It's just mustard. Was
There
it
you go.
Colonel Mustard in the dining room with a lead pipe? Wasn't that right?
That'd be a great name for a product, Mr. Muster. If you were going to come up with a mustard that was
It's
kind of
mustard.
Mr. Mustard. You like
Yeah, but
Mr.
you don't pronounce it like that. It's like a lot of U's in it when you do it from the song. You can't just be like mustard. You got to be like mustard.
Oh, yeah.
Not hit the D. You don't hit the D.
Yeah, see, he's teaching you to be hip again.
It's not going
Yeah,
to
like ambulance is not ambulance in this song. It's ambulance.
Ambulance.
Yeah.
so-
Get the B off.
Good to know. Hello, Chick. Hello, everyone. That is Donnell Rawlings over there. Mr. Rawlings to you and me. And did you get did they always mix up your name, or did they like call you Donald or Donnie when you were a kid?
No, when I was a kid, when I went to like the suburb, they would call me Darnell. But for the most part, it was always Donnell. And then it went from Donnell to the big head boy. And then since my parents on the Chapelle Show, I've been Ashy Larry probably for like the last 18 years.
Ashy Larry.
It's
That's
been-
right.
But I told him I'm not that anymore. I've changed. My name is Ashford Lords now.
Yeah.
Ashford Lords. And he's a supporter of the United Negro Lotion Fund. And he talks like this. And whenever he gets upset, he says, I beg your pardon. And you say that to say what? And he's always reporting news from the BBC connection. That's
That's
all.
right.
There you go.
There you go.
Now, are you a trained singer? I mean, you were kind of joking around, but you.
No, I mean, it's a weird thing. A lot of times, it seems like most comedians want to be a singer or rapper. Most rappers want to be comedians. I can't sing. People say I got a raspy voice. If I had some training, I might be able to do it. But I'm a guy to just get 1 or 2 lines and that's it. You know, I'll sing I'll be singing that for like the next 3 days, just straight on repeat. But I know I'm not a singer. I play around.
You know,
and don't say that because now I'm going to take it serious and people are going to be like, thought you're supposed to be telling jokes. I'm like, no.
well, but you hit the nail on the head when you say that so many singers want to be comedians because, believe me, we've had them in here.
Yeah.
The singers?
Yeah, no, both. The kiss,
yeah?
the kiss of death is two people from the same band sitting in here. They all want to be funny, and it almost never works. If you notice that, but
if you know how to support each other, I mean, it will. But everybody wants to be the king and on top. But I used to do morning radio years ago, and I realized when I first came in, without any training, not knowing what I was doing, I would always go for the joke. Like, it was always a joke instead of letting things just sit in the pocket and let it marinate. And it took me some time to realize that you could be good just supporting the people that you work with. So I had to kind of calm down and let the things come to me and stop trying to force them.
yeah. Well, I remember when Sam Kinison all of a sudden started singing.
Yeah.
And he was great. He was super original, and then all of a sudden.
So wait a minute, he wasn't doing this screaming thing. He was just regularly just singing.
I went to see him
thing.
many times, and the last time I went to see him, all of a sudden he comes out with a guitar and starts doing regular songs, and everyone's kind of looking around like, what?
Because a comedian can't swoon a woman. Like, we can get the panties to drop off of jokes, but it's just something about I haven't had that experience. Maybe that's why I'm warming up right now. Just looking at a woman in her eyes, singing a song, and her just start shivering and passing out. There's never going to be a joke that funny that make a chick just start shaking.
You're right.
What type of joke?
You're right.
You might be able to laugh the panties off, but it's not going to be in that moment. So I'm not going for that, but that was just something when I was young. I was like, man, it'd be cool just to go up there and drop one note, and they'd be like, oh, my God, it's Ashy.
Yeah.
There isn't a phrase, laughing your panties off. Is there?
No.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it. Hello, Donnell Rawlings, a voice that many of you may recognize from, among other things, a lot of work with Dave Chapelle, who now happens to be your neighbor in Yellow Springs, Ohio, when you're not in L.A.
Yeah, he also, the special I had on Netflix, it premiered February 27th of last year. It was called A New Day. He was actually the producer of that show also.
And you've been doing a lot of work with him, a lot of other stuff. What do people recognize you for the most?
I have to say 100% it's the Chapelle Show. And it's like the show was just so iconic, still is ingrained into pop culture now. But Entertainment Weekly did an article story some years ago, and it had the top 100 shows in the history of television. Chapelle Show was ranked with that, along with HBO's The Wire. And I had the pleasure of working with David Simon and a great cast over The Wire. That was some years ago. And if people are a fan of Wire, I found out there's a lot of people are fans of Wire, then you almost had to be a fan of David Simon. Had another series, it was a mini-series which Charles Dutton directed called The Corner, and it was about this family in Baltimore that was struggling with addiction and everything. That story won, that show won them 3 Emmys. And people wondered what they would do to outdo that. You couldn't, because the story of a family and drugs, at the end of the day, people are going to die, people get killed. But that's when David Simon and the guys over there came up with HBO's The Wire. And I played the character Day Price. I was assistant to Senator Clay Davis. But I think the 2 biggest stars that came out of that was Idris Elba as Stringer Bell and Michael K. Williams as Omar. Michael K. Williams played the real gangster dude, Omar.
With the scar.
Fun fact, a lot of people don't know, the role of Omar came down to me and Mike.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Robert Colesbury, one of the executive producers, R.I.P., passed away some years ago. He said, Donell, we was thinking about you for the character of Omar. We think you would have did a good job of that. But we thought it was something special about this kind of corrupt guy from the streets that had his ties with the streets and the governor. Now, if you followed The Wire, you realize, if you followed it, the first season of it, it was all about the inner city and everything that was happening in towers. But what happened was the Baltimore Tourism Board complained that every time they have a show in Baltimore, it's always depicted as this decrepit, drug-ridden city. I'm like, have you ever drove through Baltimore? I mean, like, whatever.
And season 2, they go down to the docks, which is interesting.
And that's why, like, my character. If you followed The Wire,
love it.
My character. If you realize, I got caught with $30,000, right? And then they brought me in to interrogate me or whatever. Something happened where I got to leave the police station with the $30,000.
Right.
But it was unanswered because they had to switch from the towers to the docks. So that's when my character got lost in the sauce. They changed the arc of the story.
They came back to you, but
David Simon, only reason he did that, he really was a big fan of mine. He was like, I just wanted to do something to kind of show my appreciation for you being a part of this series from the beginning. And
brilliant show.
And that was it. It was a great show.
The guy Dominic West from that show.
McNulty.
The craziest
Did he immediately drop the American accent when he was off camera?
Oh yeah, well, he was a director also, and the accent, the American accent, him and Idris was the same thing.
Because I didn't know he was.
But those
English.
guys are so talented. Idris the same way. It was so funny because McNulty, I call him by the character name on the show. He directed the episode that I was in the last time, and part of my episode, I had to rat on Senator Clay Davis, and he comes up to me with his English accent. He was like, Donell, he said, I think, I don't know if you're playing this right. You really want to put this guy away. And he had the script in his head like he was like, you want to put him away. I said, I don't know where you from, but where I'm from, black people don't get excited about snitching. There's this phrase that's called snitches get stitches, right?
Right.
So I said, as much as I don't want to snitch, I don't want to go to jail as much as that. That's why I played it with the nervous energy. And then he was like, I think you're right. And then String a Bell, Idris Elba, String a Bell, like that show was nothing as hot as that show, The Wire, at that time when it was out. And I remember I would go places. I was excited because I was a comic from the black circuit that had opportunity to be in a dramatic series like that. And I would see women, and they would get all excited. They'd be like, oh, my God. They like this, are you on The Wire? And I'm like, and then they would be like, could you introduce us to String a Bell? I was like, screw String a Bell. I was so happy the day that he had a contract issue and he didn't want to come back to the show. And when they killed him, I called all of those girls. I was like, yeah, your boy is dead. R.I.P. It's so hard to say goodbye.
There we go.
There we go. Donnell Rawlings, check in. There's Big on the satellite. There he is.
Hey, everybody.
Hi,
Good to know. It's Jeff Oskay, comedian Jeff Oskay with well, you do the introduction. It's your show.
I like the bow tie, Jeff.
Good look
Chris
today.
shirt.
I'm feeling smart.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You look smart.
I'm Jeff. Well, I'm gonna prove you wrong on that. We give you a lot of the news each week. We don't give you all the news, so I'm here to give you the news that we failed to mention.
Here's Jeff Oskay with Failed to Mention News.
That long beard and that bow tie, you look like Rip Van Redenbacher.
Ooh, I wish I had that kind of money.
You almost didn't remember Redenbach.
Yeah, but I
You're
like
absolutely
I
right.
appreciate the joke. The pause threw me.
Waddle.
That is a nice joke.
I think I do. For today's show, I get a star for effort.
I think we all need a weekend.
Well, we were doing songs with long pauses. You just took it to the jokes.
We spent too much time together last
Yes,
week.
we did.
This is a mess right now.
Or it could be Irving R. Levine, of course, the famous newscaster who wore the bow tie.
Yes, but then you want to add his beard, his look too, to it.
Yeah,
So,
if Irving R. Levine had been kidnapped.
Or Paul Simon, the senator.
Yes. Very good, very good. And now, how does the show work again?
I just read stuff and then try to make jokes out of it.
Okay.
We're ready. Go.
In China, they're now offering spicy bamboo skewers. Ooh. Bamboo skewers that have been soaked in spice and then smoked over a fire. What you failed to mention, the spicy bamboo skewers are a huge hit with China's panda population.
Yeah.
Oh, they love pandas.
Yes.
I can't get enough of that.
Pandas
flavor.
like that bamboo, Tom.
Oh.
Say skewers for me. Tom.
Skewers.
Skewers. All right.
Skewers.
Oh, you're the one who was saying skewers.
I said skewers.
No, you said something else.
All right.
Tramp stamp tattoos are making a comeback. Have you seen this? Tramp stamp
Have you had
tattoos
this?
making a comeback. Well, you failed to mention my lady just got one. It's a portrait of my grandmother. That way I'd last longer during doggy.
You know, the phrase, if there's a better phrase than hopefully I'll last longer during doggy.
I enjoyed that very
I don't know what
It
it would
really
be.
is nice.
You get a look see at Nana, and that throws you, huh?
Oh, yeah, that'll make you last
Other
another
than
5 minutes.
The meatloaf was done right at halftime of the Super Bowl. That's a pretty good phrase.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Truck nuts are now illegal in Iowa.
Idaho.
I wish they'd tack on those coexist bumper stickers to the bill. Nothing makes me want to wreck a car like a coexist bumper sticker. The world's record for the largest ball of dog hair weighed 201 pounds. What you failed to mention, of course, 12 of those pounds is just the Roomba.
They left that in.
Yeah. You guys just talked about this. Some douchebag out there is robbing Amish buggies at gunpoint.
Yeah.
What you failed to mention, give me all the unpasteurized milk and no one gets hurt. We learned Jessica Simpson drinks snake sperm to help her singing voice. Well, you failed to mention out there's some silly snake slithering around bragging to all the snake buddies. You're never going to believe what I got old Jessica Simpson to do the other night. Some lady set the record for being the first blind woman to swim the English Channel. What you failed to mention, at least that's what they told her. A mayor... Did you see this? A mayor in North Dakota had to resign after accidentally sending a lewd video to the city's female attorney. What you failed to mention, after what happened last week, I'm surprised he didn't get the signal and recheck who he's sending the text to.
Yeah, he didn't read the news at all.
No, he's completely out. And finally, we learned that a research study concluded that men love breasts.
Yeah. Who knew?
What you failed to mention, I was a little skeptical at first, but after hearing this, maybe we are using too much of our money on science and research. I'm Jeff Oskay, and this has been the news that we failed to mention.
Jeffrey.
Thank you, Jeffrey.